Hello everyone, it's Smashley Brewer and I'm back with another Sims 4 Era house build. This time it's part 2 of the Greek Revival house. As I said, Greek Revival houses were built from the 1825 to 1860. These houses were because Americans were excited about their new democracy and built houses a lot like Greek temples. So in this build, I'm going to get into finishing up a lot of the exterior of the house. I do a little bit of adding more plants throughout this entire video, especially to the backyard. I wanted it to feel fully decorated and surrounded and not so blank and empty. Since I don't have an actual backyard, I did that with greenery. In this video, you're going to see a lot of me in furnishing and changing the layout of the first floor specifically. I don't think I changed much of the second floor. I think I'm pretty happy with how the layout went with that. But yeah, it's pretty much trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this layout. And boy, was it a lot. So I wanted the center part to be kind of raised in comparison to the rest. But then I wanted to make sure the front door wasn't kind of like this weird step above the front patio or porch, I guess. I started with the kitchen. I think in this build, I jumped around a lot. Like I did a little bit in this room, and then I did a little bit of that room, and then I did a little bit of that room. And so I was kind of all over the place. I didn't move methodically through this build because I was just kind of frustrated with how annoying the layout had to be. I changed the colors of the floors a million times. I changed the colors of the walls a million times. I was very indecisive with this build. I think every time I say like, oh, I had issues with the layout of the rooms or something like this, I think it gets worse every time. Obviously I'm not getting better at doing layouts, or these houses are just hard, more and more hard each time. I think when we get to more of the modern style houses, starting with the next build, which will be Gothic Revival, which I'm actually kind of excited to see if I can recreate that build in The Sims 4, because some of the more decorative pieces will be exciting to see. I won't be able to do everything that you see, but I'll be able to use some pretty cool spandrels, I think they're called. We'll see if I'm right this time. I'm going to get it right for the next video, I promise you, or one day. So I wanted a big, beautiful chandelier, but I didn't want to use the same chandelier I use every single build, which is that like big golden one. So I ended up using this chandelier. I had to make sure it wasn't too low for the staircase, and I think it was just perfect. Any longer it would have been annoying, and then shorter would have been okay. But then adding lighting to the hallway, again, I'm all over the place with this build. It's like, oh, I'm gonna add lights here. I'm gonna add lights here. I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna do this. I think I like added all the lights to the second floor. I love those like the three lights that are from different glass shaped like jars. I'd like to say they look like. I don't know what pack they came with, but it's probably by far one of my favorite lights to use. I'm gonna actually put it in here, not that one. That one. Like I like it. It's simple. It brightens the room. It's pretty without being too much. It doesn't hang too low, and you have different options, especially if you did have the higher walls and wanted it to hang lower. You have different options. You don't have just the short one. So here I'm thinking like the flooring was so bright. It's like, okay, we got to do something about this. So I ended up going with the cream, and I think I changed things a million times before I decide on one thing. Like I was like, should I put wood panels? But that didn't really fit, and it was just a mess. I think to kind of deal with like these big marble tiling, I kind of just threw some carpets down in some of the areas. Unfortunately, one of the carpets that I do like, where it's kind of like something you can make it as long as you want because it's just different. Like you have your one end piece and then like the middle pieces. My only issue is there's no like corner pieces to make it like wrap around, because I would have loved to use that in the big corridor that wraps around the back of the house and where the bathroom is. That would have been really nice to add, but unfortunately, I didn't really get that. Notice the trees were kind of glitching through the walls, so I had to move them forward. I think I've said this before in one of my past videos. It would be really nice if, like, the trees and plant life, like, there was, like, a block. Like, it could not pass the wall. Like you see how it's kind of glitched the wall even now. You see a little bit uh of that plant on the left bottom corner. Like I wish they kind of made it so no matter how close that tree or plant was to the wall, it does not glitch through the wall. And even without move objects on, you can still put a plant or tree close enough to the wall that it does clip through the wall, and it's frustrating. Now, I move these curtains and these windows. I don't know how many times to get them right because I think on that side where I'm putting it right now, I end up putting it too high that it actually glitches through the floor on the top. So I had to fix that. This room was kind of hard to do because I wanted it to not be so bland and white. I wanted to have some contrast. So I made it gray. Like, as I said, like, if you ever have me as an interior decorator, which you won't because I'm not going to do interior decorating, I'm going to stick with engineering. My stuff would be so, like, black and white. I wanted to use one of these, like, big pedestals, but it was too big, and then I couldn't get the object, like, level right because, like, I lowered it, and then it just snaps to the place, and I was like, all right, you know what? Screw this. Because I thought that'd be a cool addition. I end up putting, like, the carpet in that room makes it like fill up so much. It looks so much less empty. Like it's amazing how carpet or a rug can make a room feel less, I don't know. Eh. Now, if I were to fix this, I'd probably actually put the marble in here instead of leaving it as carpet because I think I have carpet flooring in there because you have the rug and then you have the carpet on top of the rug or the rug on top of the carpet. And I think it would have been more fitting to put the carpet on top of the marble with the way this build is going, but I didn't. So you get what you get. I wanted to put some more of these decorations, but I also didn't want it to make it too castle-like. So I decided not to put the knight in shining armor in there, but I do have those shields on the other side of that wall, as you can see there as a decoration. I put some pictures up this wall to fill it up more and make it feel less empty. It was just kind of hard to fill that wide hallway. And then this is that sectional rug that I was talking about where you have the two different pieces. And I do wish that there was a corner piece, and you'll see me kind of try and put that like, yeah, you see, I was like, okay, can I try and do something there? It didn't really work out too well, so I was like, whatever. So, like, in this hallway, I wanted to use that, but I felt like it was weird. I don't know. Did I end up using that in the end? I don't think I did. I don't know. We'll see. I can't remember. I recorded this 2 days ago. I ended up playing a lot of video games yesterday with my husband. Yeah, I ended up deleting it. And so I didn't really get into actually putting the voiceover for this video until today. I actually factory reset my computer and trying to hopefully get my download speed higher. For some reason it's not working on Steam. Like I should be downloading at like at least 30 megabytes per second, but I'm downloading at 10, and it aggravates me because it's nothing to do with my router, because my husband's computer downloads just fine and it averages at 30 megabytes per second. What my computer does, it will spike up to like 70 megabytes per second, which is amazing. And if it could download that fast, I'd be insanely happy. But then it slowly drops. So it goes from 70 to 60 to 30 to 40 to 50. Oh, yeah, fix that. Wrong order. 50 to 40 to 30, 10, 20, 10. And then it kind of stays around 10. And sometimes it can get as low as 2 megabytes per second. Now, for people who do have slower internet, so it can imagine you being like, oh, look at this privileged jerk complaining about her fast download speed. But I pay so much money for my computer, for my internet and computer to have fast download speeds. And when I don't have it, like, I worked hard. Like, I work so I can play games. Like, I love gaming. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do. I've been doing it since I was 4. So I do put a lot of money, like my spare money, into gaming. So when I do that, still a child sometimes. When I do that, like, I want to get what I pay for, and when I'm not, like, you can imagine that being frustrating. So, it's been aggravating me. I've tried every trick. I've Googled everything. Now, my Origin and my BattleNet will average at 20 to 30, which is great. I'm okay with that. I It could be better. My internet says it should be better, but it's not. It's whatever, 20 to 30. I'll take what I can get when it comes to the other two. I've turned off any sort of throttling that the apps allow me to turn off. And I've changed servers, like Steam server, you can change like the server and all that kind of stuff. I've disabled a bunch of things. I put in console prompts. I've done all sorts of crazy stuff and nothing works. So I'm at the point where it's like, do I need a new computer? Because I factory reset my computer, and so that's one of the other reasons it's been taking me so long to actually put the voiceover on this video. So for this living room, back into talking about the actual video instead of me ranting about my download speeds, back into this video, I end up adding bookshelves to that area to kind of give its own little sitting room to kind of fill in that hallway. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I feel like it's a awkward use of that space. Like, you can imagine you come in, like, straight from the front door and you turn to the living room and somebody's just sitting there reading a book. Like, I don't know. It could have probably been done better, but I needed to fill that space. And then, I don't know. I wanted a fireplace because there's supposed to be a chimney on this build, but I don't think I actually put the chimney in on the roofing that you'll see in the original photo that I didn't put in this photo. I think what I should do at the end of my video, instead of just cutting to the final, like, exterior photo, I should do, like, kind of like one of those, like, here's the original, and then and it does like a little slide and it's like, here's the Sims version. I'm probably gonna try and do that with some of my future videos, or at the end of this whole playlist that I'm doing in this video series. I'll do a video of like, these are the houses we did, and here's the inspiration, and here's the final build. And maybe I'll even like talk about it a little bit and like kind of my thoughts now after doing all of these. I think I'm doing a total of 22 houses. Let me double check because I have the kind of the list that I'm going through. So I'm on, I think, like house 5 or 6. So there's 23 different houses I'm going through. Oh my god. I don't know if I'm going to do one of these. I might have to, the inspiration that I have, I'm going to have to probably find something different. Oh, and I do end up going through, I think last video I did talk about like doing some of more of the Spanish inspired houses that you would see in California. I noticed that in this build, I noticed when going through my list, I do have those in my list. So I have 23 builds that I'm going to go through. And I am on video 5. So I think at the end, instead of doing like the before and after at the end of like my next few videos, I think in the future, I'm going to make a final video kind of going over all of these videos, which is good that I didn't delete some of my saved stuff when I factory reset my computer. Usually when I factory reset my computer, I'm like, you know what? Fresh start, getting rid of all my files on my computer. Hopefully I don't have anything important. Let's go. This time I'm like, okay, so I was going to upload, like, I have folders for these videos. I was going to upload it onto the cloud, but if my download speed's a problem, guess what's also a problem? My upload speed. Which was surprisingly, I think it was because I was trying to download the Sea of Thieves at the same time. But yeah, so I end up being like, all right, I guess I could just save my files this time, which caused a whole other issue with League of Legends that I don't even want to get into. But yeah, so I think that's what I'll do at the end of this is I'll kind of do like, oh, here's a before and after of each thing, and then I'll talk about each one for a little bit. That's going to be an interesting video. I'm, like, excited about that. I'm going to write that down and make sure I don't forget, because I got 23 of these houses to go through. So, kind of, again, going back into the build. So, now I'm on the second floor. As you can see, I'm working more on the bedrooms. I end up kind of making this bedroom very white. And I don't like that because I would never actually decorate in all white because white stains and it's gross. And I have 2 black cats and I just can imagine their fur everywhere. In fact, my guest bedroom that I have in my house is 2 of the bedrooms are actually decorated in all white. I won't decorate in all white, realizes I have 2 bedrooms decorated in all white. And then the other bedroom, I'd made it pink. I imagine a girly girl's room. I don't know. I'm really bad at trying to do like more gender neutral rooms because I don't know. I guess if your boy likes pink, he can have the pink room. No shame. But I go with pink and blue because I don't know. I think it's very basic, easy to do. I imagine you can pretty much do it however you want. So yeah, that's kind of what I did for that. And then these curtains, I hate these curtains, but I love these curtains because these curtains add so much like fill to the room. Like I hate how thick they are and I would never actually use curtains like that because I think they're ugly and I think they're dense and I just don't think they fit very well. And so I like not they do fit well in this build obviously, but I just don't think I would ever want something that big and clunky looking. It just fills the room, so I can't be too upset, I guess. I didn't do as much decoration with these bathrooms, and I know in one of my past builds I talked about how like I think it's weird if you don't have like a shower, and I don't think I have a shower in any of these except maybe this one. Did I end up leaving the shower? No, I ended up getting rid of the shower and put the tub centered. Yeah, so I said I feel like it's weird if you don't have a shower because most modern houses would always have a shower, but these older houses I felt like it was just like you have the like I did a lot of, as you can see, Queen Anne decor. And the shower that you use for the Anne decor is just so gaudy that I'm like, yeah, no. Which is actually, I'm actually really excited because I was noticing as we were as I was talking about like future builds, one of the houses that I will be doing in this build is a Queen Anne build. So I think with that house, I know I talked about in the past that in the future I want to do a series where I only use certain stuff packs. I think when I get to the Queen Anne house, which is in 1, 2, 3 videos, or I wouldn't say videos, but 3 sets, because I have been doing part 1 and part 2 for some of these videos because they're bigger houses. There's a lot to furnish. There's a lot of decisions that I make, and I want to keep these videos under 30 minutes because listening to my voice for 30 minutes rambling, and I'm not even talking about the build right now. Like, I feel like the reason I haven't been talking about the build as much this video is because when I'm furnishing, I either use a lot of the same furniture, or I repeat the same things. Hashtag Sims 4 is not as good as Sims 3. There's not enough windows. What's the other one I always say? There's not enough plants. And I always say the same things every video. So you're gonna see me ranting about different things, hopefully. I can get redundant. I get that from my mom. I love my mom to death, but I think every time my mom and I have a conversation, we talk about the same thing every single time. You were like every conversation I have with my mom, it's like her saying, "You remember this, this, and this," and it's like me going, "Yes, mom," and then me doing the same thing where it's like, "Mom, you remember this?" She's like, "You've told me this," and I'm like, I get this from you. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I guess. So I'll say it every video, and if I don't, something's wrong with me. Of course, I am recording this voiceover for this voiceover, I just started this voiceover after I did yesterday's video's voiceover. So it's all fresh in my mind. I'm still salty because I had like a whole long rant in last video about the differences between Sims 3 and Sims 4 and being so like it was like a 10-minute rant. Like it was half the video. And then I realized that there was some desync when recording the voiceover in the video. So when I went back into talking about the video, where I was watching the video, my voice was like 20 seconds ahead. So it didn't make sense. So it's like, great, I just have to re-record this. And my poor husband had to keep quiet for an extra 20 minutes and huff and puff about how I am redundant and I say, too much. And it was a frustrating experience because it's like I could just, try and remember what I talked about or just talk about something new. So I don't know. One of these days I'll go through that rant again. So decorating these rooms, I kind of kept with the blue, the pink. I ended up changing this room to more of a purpley color, which I love purple. I don't really care much for the lavender purple, but the sorority I was in, lavender and maroon were our colors, and so hey, there's the Sigma Kappa room. I don't know. Um, but yeah, so oh, I think that's a really pretty room. Actually, I would like that room a lot. It's a very pretty purple. Like I don't like light purple. I think I'm a more of a royal purple, but I would like that room is pretty. The bed's a little gaudy for me, but it's a nice room. Like can't hate. It has its own bathroom. Hell yeah. Um so, yeah, just going through and putting the bathroom in. I didn't put as much decoration in these bathrooms as I've done in the past. Uh, yeah, I pretty much finished the build here. Add some plants to the hallway. You can get these builds on the Sims Gallery, and my profile is Smash the Brewer. Be sure to follow it. Please like and subscribe with comments and suggestions to make this video better. What are some things you think about The Sims 4 and how The Sims 4 is not as good as Sims 3, but you understand that The Sims 3 and Sims 4 have to be different because Sims 3 you can't run everything even though you pay for everything. I don't know. There's my rant. Thank you. Make sure to like, subscribe, and make sure to comment with any suggestions to make these videos better for you. Thank you for watching.